This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And it is official. On Friday morning, Kelly Sutton, I had an emergency and couldn't make it to co-host with her this year, but Kelly Sutton flipped the switch, and the lights are lit at Gaylord Opryland, and so is Kelly Sutton this morning. There's a little left over, so that's how she started the morning. Welcome to it. Should be interesting. You don't want to miss it. Yeah, don't miss a thing this morning. Charlie Mattos over there, he's got sports and keeps us updated along the way. Annie Nye is our studio director, wearing her Buckskin Girls Won't You Come Out Tonight fringe today.
I like it.
And making Jeff Robertson, Master Control, jealous, going, I wish I had a jacket or shirt like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love some
Rock
fringe.
solid.
I love a fringe moment.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you should rock some morning.
I have a leather jacket that has fringe on it that I really like.
Right now, you're rocking Kenny Rogers in concert. Remember when he would wear his crushed velvet maroon? He envisioned that one day, when he was young, he said, one day, I had this dream. I would play the Fox Theater in Atlanta wearing a maroon crushed velvet jacket.
Oh.
So when he finally did, he wore a maroon crushed velvet. You're wearing maroon, not maroon, but blue. That's a beautiful blue.
You know what? I have a crushed velvet maroon jacket that's exactly like this.
Rock that thing.
Should have worn
It's fall,
that.
baby. It will be perfect.
It's time.
Yes.
It's time. All of the Christmas is happening. It's so much Christmas. Gaylord Opryland, we flipped the switch. All the lights are on. All the tickets are on sale. So come hang out with us. It's not too soon to decorate. Don't let anybody shame you. We've got our lights up. Go ahead. Put them up. You've got time. It's good.
And Terry Clark joined you and the front men.
Yes.
We had Larry Stewart, Tim Rushlow.
Yes.
And Richie McDonald last night.
That's right.
Were they generally well behaved?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay,
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So we
Terry, I
talked
wasn't
through it.
worried about, but the three of them together.
The best part was we had a big fireworks display at the very end. We'd flip the switch and the lights are on and the fireworks are going. And Larry is standing right beside me and Larry Stewart leans over and the fireworks are happening right over our massive nativity scene. World's largest.
That's what they say.
World's largest nativity scene. And he leans over and he said, well, the baby Jesus ain't never seen nothing like this. And I just started to laugh. It was so good. I mean, he's just hilarious. So, yeah, it was a good night had by all.
You know what's
So
crazy
fun.
is I think the Chinese had invented fireworks by the time the baby Jesus came along.
Oh, gold, frankincense, and Roman candles. Come on. That was the gifts, I would believe.
Sparklers.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so last night was really special. Coming up, entertainment headlines. Kelsey Ballerini making her acting debut last night on Dr. Odyssey. That was on ABC. We'll catch you up to date on that. Lainey Wilson coming out in a new costume on stage that people are talking about. So that video is still to come. And Warren Zeider's shirtless. That's all I'm saying. Stay tuned.
Kelly Clarkson likes it a lot.
She's not the only one.
I know a girl.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Okay, if you're approaching, say the Opry House area of Briley Parkway, if you're approaching that area now and you see a vehicle very fast coming up, please merge to the right. Please merge to the right.
Yeah.
Let them pass on the left, then cut across and up the ramp to the Opryland complex in our studio. That would be Twinnie, whom we are expecting with her new album out today.
That doesn't narrow it down on Briley Parkway, unfortunately.
No.
There'd be a lot of people trying to get to us. My favorite morning is I left and I got passed by two motorcycles doing twin wheelies at about 95 miles an hour.
That's what I'm talking about.
I thought I had seen just about everything on Briley Parkway.
Whoa.
but,
Yeah, that's not.
Nice,
No,
flat,
not good.
straight
Not
spot
smart.
there for a couple of miles. You bet.
No.
And I was thinking about her gypsy heritage, and I always think about this song, and I heard it yesterday knowing she was coming. You know the song I Recall a Gypsy Woman?
I don't.
It was a Bob McDill, songwriter, Hall of Famer, Alan Reynolds song.
Okay.
They co-wrote it. And Waylon has cut it, Johnny Cash has cut it. Don Williams had the biggest hit on it. And it's a song about a man who remembers a gypsy woman that he had an affair with when he was 17.
Everything about that's wrong.
And how her laughter
Everything about
haunts
that.
his mind while his wife and children sleep beside him.
Okay.
I'm more of
You
a...
had me with 17. I'm like, no, we're out.
I'm with Garth and a lonely widow woman
No.
in that
Yeah.
song back in the day.
Yeah, buddy.
Nope.
Every time you eat
route.
A turkey sandwich on wheat, you kind of think things differently,
There we
don't you?
go.
You hear that out there.
This poor guy that is blowing the leaves out here has been blowing the leaves for an hour and a half, and he just keeps making a circle because by the time he gets it clear in front of our studio, they've fallen and he's come back around.
They need the big vacuum cleaner where you suck them up, not where you
Yes.
blow them. Because
Very true.
Yeah, blowing doesn't really accomplish
No,
a whole
he's
lot.
trying to prove to you, hey, I'm working by the hour.
He is.
I got a
Well,
plan
there's
here.
that.
I
He's
can
got it
move
down.
these leaves around for days.
Okay, I have to tell you about this, but it is with a caveat. Anybody that is watching or listening to us this morning, if you're eating breakfast, well, just pause on that for a second because we're going to talk about Kelsey Ballerini making her acting debut on Dr. Odyssey last night. It was on ABC. If you missed it, well, you missed a very interesting foray into acting, I think. Kelsey sat down with us as a part of our podcast, Country Heat Weekly. Here's a little clip that she told us before we actually got to see the acting debut.
I read the script and I was like, this is hilarious. It's also heavy, but it's like it has that Ryan Murphy gloss. Surrealist, but also like a medical drama and also like love triangles everywhere.
Okay.
I had prosthetics.
Stop it.
My first scene is me being very sick. I'm throwing up all morning, laying like on Margot Martindale, sweating, and that was my entryway into acting.
Sweating and throwing up. She said they put coconut milk and Gatorade, mixed them together, and put them in her mouth so she could projectile.
I remember
Who knew? Who knew?
our dog once, one of our dogs got in the decon rat poison one time.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And you know what the vet said?
He's trying to commit suicide.
Fill her full of as much peroxide as you can.
Oh.
Peroxide.
And it worked like a charm. It took a little while,
Really?
but when she was good to launch,
There
we
it
got
was.
well in a hurry.
Wow. Okay, we are not veterinarians,
Wow.
and nor are we doctors. We do
Yes,
not
we-
recommend
we
any of
do
these
not.
things.
We're
We
not
don't play them on TV.
We are
here,
not
so
authorized
Just want to let you know. Don't try this at home,
to
kids.
give medical advice.
Please. I just imagine someone at home going, peroxide, huh? Get the peroxide. Talk about feeling well. Don't do that. Yeah, if you didn't get a chance to see it last night, it's now streaming on Hulu, so you can watch Dr. Odyssey. Bailey Zimmerman made his Jimmy Fallon debut. This is a bucket list for him. Good things. Here's what he looked like playing on the big stage. Take a look.
Was your last breath? Would you waste it on me? Stick around. I'm in the dark. Be the angel that comes down and picks up my heart when it's all wrong. Can we be strong and keep holding on?
I love how the Tonight Show has now done these really elaborate sets, and it almost looks like a video shoot. Instead of just tossing over and they're on the stage and they play, it is very like mood lighting and looks really nice.
That was my first thought when
yeah.
they did that.
Isn't that nice?
What we need is some melodrama.
And they got it.
Yeah, they did with that.
For sure. Okay. Lainey Wilson out on tour. You know, you got to keep it fresh. You got to keep the people coming back for more. Change things up a little bit. She has a song on her new album, Whirlwind, that's called Countin' Chickens. It's so cute. I love this song. So this is Lainey coming out on stage at a recent tour stop singing Countin' Chickens. For everyone who's listening to us on the radio, she has a blow-up chicken costume, and it looks like she's riding the chicken.
Okay. Do you know who has that costume? Who has performed in it on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry at Opry Country Classics? But
Henry Cho.
It's a horse.
Lauren Elena.
The Malpass brothers.
Oh, my God.
And they are
Lord.
doing Marty Robbins' El Paso,
That's perfect.
where he's trying to ride away.
That is absolutely perfect.
So Taylor
that's
is the horse and
Nice.
plays it to the hilt. It is. Larry Gatlin had tears streaming down his face.
That's amazing.
So,
That's amazing.
it's the first
I
thing I
love the
thought of when I
blow-up
saw that.
costumes.
Yeah.
And Lainey coming out there doing Countin' Chickens, and she's bouncing it, so it looks like the chicken is
Oh, yeah.
almost twerking, which is
Little
wrong.
Chicken booty.
Chicken booty all over
Is
the
what I'm
place
talking about.
with our friend Lainey Wilson.
Chicken booty Judy.
Okay. Shirtless Warren Zeiders. You waited for it. Here it is. Apparently, Kelly Clarkson was not familiar with Warren's physique. He's been working out a lot. He is a former athlete, a lacrosse player, and he was recently on the Kelly Clarkson show. As they were doing the interview, they flashed some pictures behind her. Here's her reaction. Nope, don't have it. Okay, never mind. So Kelly is looking and she turns around and goes, "Oh," and says an expletive when she sees him shirtless.
So you've just recreated her reaction, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he starts to giggle. And she said, "I was not expecting that." So if you haven't seen this video, go look for it because it is now viral, over 5 million views on Instagram alone. And now Warren is going shirtless, I'm sure, all of the time. And rightfully so.
You can buy him a shirt. He won't wear it.
That's right.
Yeah, it popped up on my email one day, and I was like,
See,
recently,
that's the thing. It's like
"You go, boy."
everywhere. It's
Yes,
everywhere.
sir.
He's been out with Jelly Roll, and he has been hitting it hard on the road, working out every day.
CrossFit forever.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
After serving our country, veterans continue to serve right here at home. They're coaches, entertainers, small business owners, bringing their dedication and skills to the communities they love. At Wounded Warrior Project on Veterans Day and every day, we honor your service and we're grateful for your commitment to making a difference. You are living proof that after service, anything is possible.
Wounded Warrior, very special weekend at the Opry Live. You can watch on Circle Country Television. That is tomorrow night, Saturday night of Veterans Day weekend. See, Monday is Veterans Day, always 11/11, regardless of the day it falls on. It's always the 11th day of the 11th. It was the 11th hour when it was announced as a holiday, an official holiday. But Wounded Warrior Project Special Opry Live tomorrow night. Learn more about what they are, what they do, and how you can donate. WoundedWarriorProject.org. Please, no eye contact right now. She's feeling like a pretty big deal because she learned that in her homeland, the United Kingdom, where the hour was about 6 hours time change, something like that, that her new album, which was going to drop today, it's already dropped in different parts of the world, I guess at midnight, overnight, something we used to say, Twinnie is back in studio on Coffee, Country, and Cody at the #1 position on the charts in the United Kingdom. A hero in the homeland.
Thank you.
Take that, Buckingham Palace.
That's amazing. That was a perfect intro. Thank you. I'm always like, what's he going to come up with next? This is amazing.
Now you know how I feel.
You're just like all so good at this. Even reading the sports, I'm like, how do you even do that? Like, I struggle to talk half the time. And people struggle to understand me half the time. So
I love to hear you talk.
thank you.
So good. Congrats.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So how long was this one in coming? I mean, how long have we had this in the hopper?
I mean, you guys have had me on before.
Yeah.
So when I released those two last EPs, Blue Hour, Part 1 and Part 2, it's just the album. The album is those two EPs with 10 new songs. And it was kind of just like, I'm going on tour in the UK at the end of the month, and I wanted something to put out. And I was just like, we're going to close this sad girl era once and for all.
Oh, good.
There's 22 songs on it. I know that's kind of epic. But I went through this massive breakup. The year 2022 was so pivotal in my life. Being an independent artist, then a 10-year relationship falling away, me moving to Nashville. So it like really gives you this story in these 22 songs. And I'm super proud of it.
You said your sad girl era.
Yeah.
Has something happened for your happy girl era, which is now beginning? other than the fact that you have a #1?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. As soon as I decided to put this album out, there was like an energetic shift. And I may or may not have a new crush that's inspiring the next project called Happy Hour. So.
Oh, this is good.
Well,
Yeah.
you mentioned you're heading to the UK back home for 5 shows. You start on Monday, November 25th. Of course, that's Thanksgiving week here in the States. But
Yeah, why don't you all fly over?
I would
I'm
love
joking.
that.
It's sold out.
Nice, but you can't.
London, Brighton, Manchester, your hometown, York,
Yes.
and Glasgow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I'll just listen from outside like the Swifties do. I don't even have to go in. I'll carry your guitar. I'll go with you on this trip. That's easy. So
That's exactly right.
I'm so excited actually because I'm taking one of my best friends from here, Bonner Black, who's an amazing artist, and it's her first time in the UK, and it's like really cool to be able to like bring your friends on tour. It's like it's going to be really special. I'm excited.
I'm not sure if you've heard this or not, but as a part of Opry 100, we're going to Royal Albert Hall.
Yes, you are.
In September of 2025.
I'm like, who do I need to hit up to be on that? I mean,
Me too. Hey, we got the inside track, and all I keep saying is, I have a passport. I have a passport.
I've pointed that out as well. No one seems very impressed.
They
by
don't
the fact
say
that my
anything to
passport
us.
is valid.
Because we would really love to be there.
Good for you.
Tell us about Royal Albert Hall.
Oh, it's like one of the most prestigious venues. Iconic. It's so beautiful inside.
Have you played it?
Have I played it? No.
Okay.
So
Who have you
I've
seen
played-
there?
Not yet. I feel like whenever I'm in this building and I say something, it comes true. So let's just say I'm playing it next year in September.
In the future.
Yeah, in the future, in the very near future.
There you go.
Have you anybody come to mind that you have seen there?
I've seen Bryan Adams played there, and there's like I went to watch this like beautiful orchestra, and they had like the screen of like the Titanic in the background, and they were playing the soundtrack and stuff like that. So they recreate it with the film. So it's like watching the movie, but with a live orchestra. That was
Like
insane.
the London Philharmonic or somebody?
Yeah.
Stunning.
But it's just you step in and you just like it. The energy and like the atmosphere, it's just like it makes it really special. And it's the Royal Albert Hall, so you feel like, darling, you have to dress up, you know. So I can't, you know.
Oh, that's why they're not taking me then. Okay, now I understand. It is. I think I'm correct in this. It is the site of one of the all-time great John Lennon lines, because the Beatles played Royal Albert Hall, and he said, "Those of you up in the balcony, cheer and scream. Up, those of you up close in the good seats, just rattle your jewelry."
Oh, I never heard
Because it was a
that.
command. It was a
Yeah.
command performance. So.
Oh, wow.
You remember the great McCartney line when they were really rolling, and they asked Paul what he did with all his money. He said, "The Queen gets most of it."
Oh, that is true.
Rattle your jewelry. I love that, Charlie.
That's perfection.
Well, I read a quote from you, Twinnie, that said, "I grew up in two worlds. My mom was just kind of normal. My dad was from a community of Romany travelers." We talked about your gypsy background on your father's side before. And then you talk about the music that your grandparents and your parents listened to, and you say that your grandparents were into old school country, which I'm curious to know in England what that is, the Rat Pack, Ella Fitzgerald. My dad, he was into Billy Joel and rock bands. My mom, Queen, ABBA, and so on. Mm-hmm. So what was old school country to your grandparents?
Like Garth and Dolly and Reba. I think like growing up in a gypsy community, especially, like there's a lot of synergy. We've talked about this before. Like there is no surprise why I ended up in Nashville, because it's all about community and family. It reminds me very much where I came from. You know, like we used to travel all over. My cousins would be there. So I think I thrive in like those sorts of places. And storytelling, they're amazing storytellers. Like, you know, and like when you go to the pub, which is a bar, you know, British pub, like we would go to, like, you call them, like, you know, the American Legion. We call them like working men's pubs.
Okay.
And my grandma would take me, and at the end of the night, they would like, call order, everybody, order, she's singing. And they would all sing after each other. So even that, when I look back on it, it reminds me of a songwriter's round.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I can see that now.
Everybody's singing after each other, and they're all going, order, order, she's singing. And it's so wild to me when I think about my childhood and what you, like, kind of like how you're wired and how you're brought up, and then that's what you crave or that's what you emulate when you're an adult. And it's just, it's been a wild ride for sure, but makes perfect sense.
Well, it does that your album is out, again, already #1 in the UK. You got that news early this morning. This is release day for Twinnie, and something we used to say.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Twinnie is here. New album is out today. Something we used to say, already #1 in the homeland, the UK, where she will be going in the month of November. And back on Coffee, Country, and Cody. We so enjoy having you, and especially when you sit down with your guitar. I saw on your Instagram you refer to yourself as the Gypsy Cowgirl.
Yeah.
And I read in an article where you want to be the first British female to have a country #1 in the United States.
I mean, yeah, why not dream? I mean, it's a lot of money in marketing that, and with the right song.
And you're doing all this. This album release is independent.
Independent. So, yeah, I need the masses. I mean, it's just happens for Drew. So,
It
maybe,
did, right?
You know, like
Drew Baldridge.
I think anything is possible. And I feel like you have to be your own champion. I'm all about being yourself. I don't fit a mold. We don't label people these days. So, why would you label music? I just focus on it being the best that it can possibly be. And yeah, I think, that could happen. Why not? There's got to be one, so why can't I be the first?
Who was the first artist you met when you got to town?
Who was the first artist?
Because Jamie Johnson was among your early friends, right?
He was lit. Well, I guess. Like, I played the Opry probably 9 months after getting here, fully moving. But I'd been coming back for like 6 or 7 years. Probably Lucy. No, I knew Lucy before. Lucy Silvers is a really good friend of mine,
okay.
and
Yeah.
she's married to John Osborne, TJ, all that kind of crew. Casey Musgraves, they're all really good friends. So I was in, because of Lucy default, like I was around a lot of them, and they're so cool. I don't know, Caitlin Smith. So many.
That's a great group.
My mind is blanking, but there was like so many. Yeah.
You're fortunate because it doesn't always happen that way.
No, I feel like because of the people that I knew, especially Lucy and a guy called John Green who produced like my very first EP, who had a #1 with What If I Never Get Over You with Lady Air. I feel like they kind of got me in rooms, and like people like Dave Barnes and Annie Barnes, Busby and Jess Busby were one of the very first people that I stayed with. God rest his soul. But like I was through into these rooms, and they can only vouch for you once, recommend you, and then you've got to be good and touch wood, like I keep getting back in rooms, so that's been like really encouraging. But yeah.
Kelly, you ready for it?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Do some live stuff.
Okay.
Twinnie this morning.
Okay, this is I'm going to dedicate this to you guys because you're always so good at listening and talking to me. Thank you for having me on. This is called Audience, and I think you might find a piece of yourself, or maybe not, in this. When Joey lost his mother, he got high all day. He wouldn't talk about it, didn't have a lot to say. But Sunday at confession, he spoke to God to make amends. I guess every broken heart sometimes needs an audience. When Mary's husband cheated with Janie down the road, she threw him out and beat up that Chevrolet on. She suffered there in silence, broke down and told her friends. I guess every broken heart sometimes needs an audience. Ooh, we all need somebody to listen. Ooh, sometimes it makes all the difference. And when I lost my first love at the age of 17, I locked myself in my room and didn't eat for weeks. And I cried on your shoulder when he took my innocence. I guess every broken heart sometimes needs an audience. The show is almost over and the lights are going down. I sing the song about you, but you're not in the crowd. But I know you're up there listening on a cloud that heaven sent. I guess every broken heart sometimes needs an audience. Guess my broken heart sometimes needs an audience. WSM, thanks for being my audience.
That was beautiful.
How sweet are you? Twinnie Lee
I
Moore,
love
known to millions around the world as Twinnie, with her brand new album out today, Something We Used to Say.
Now cut 400 different versions of that end
Right.
with every station.
You're like KTLA. Send them all out.
And before you left us last time, you were having career things happen that you could not. You remember, Kelly?
There was some acting, some
Oh
things.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm on TV.
Tell us.
So I'm on TV in the UK on an iconic show called Emmerdale. Have you ever watched The Gentleman?
No.
On Netflix.
No.
Well, my character is based off Susie Glass, and she's a baddie with a heart. Actually, I do a lot of bad things, so probably she doesn't have much of a heart. But she's been really fun to play, and it's been amazing to be back on screen again. Because obviously I've acted since I've been a kid. But, this is on 5 days a week. It's one of the longest running shows ever, and it's like really good script. And I got to work with one of my really good friends who was on the show 5 years ago, and he was just coming back in. So that was amazing.
A reunion.
Yeah, it was so perfect. It was
And
awesome.
with your accent, let me spell that for folks in the States and here in Tennessee who are listening. Emmerdale. Emmerdale.
Yes.
Is what you're looking for.
Emmerdale.
There you go.
Y'all, it's called Emmerdale.
That's perfect. So when are you taping?
I've done it. I've done it already. I've finished.
Okay.
So I'm on screen until January. I've just noticed what I look like. I had a spray tan yesterday, and I look so
You look
just
great. You look great. No.
Same color.
Sun-kissed. You look sun-kissed.
Yeah,
It's great.
I've been to Barcelona, guys.
Yeah,
so.
Saint-Tropez. You look great.
Yeah, so that has been really fun. It's been awesome
that's
just to kind of
awesome.
I love playing characters. I feel like all of that, the dancing, everything, it all adds to my artistry. So, yeah, it's just a different outlet, which has been fun.
Add a new album to your artistry. We want you to play one more live, and it's out today, wherever you get your music. Something We Used to Say. Twinnie.